Hi, this is Amit Kirti here. In this video, I would be talking about Go programming language, and we would be discussing the for loop in Go programming language. As we know, Go programming language is a new language introduced by Google. So the for loop actually happens to be a control flow. So if you want to do an operation repeated number of times, you would actually use the for loop to do that. So the items for discussion in this video are a control flow for loop. We will look at some examples for loop. We will check whether there is a while loop in Go programming language. We will also check whether there is a do while loop in Go programming language. Now this is a control flow for a for loop in Go programming language. So you will see that the control would actually come here, and we test for a condition. If the condition satisfies, we will execute the loop of the for loop, and we will go up and check the condition again. If the condition satisfies, we will again execute the for loop, and we go up and check the condition again. So when we are going up, we would increment the variable and then check the condition. So if the condition fails, then we will branch out from this particular code. We will skip the code and come out and execute the next instructions from here. So next we will look at some examples of how to write a for loop in Go programming language. So let's start writing a code for this. So as usual, the first statement would be package main. Then we will import the FMT package. Then I'll write the main function. So the for loop will have for statement, then say I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. The opening bracket has to be on the same line as for, and I close the bracket, and when I run this program, I should actually get an error. So what Go programming language expects is that you don't need the opening and the closing brackets for loop. All you need to do is remove these two and try to run again. So since the for loop runs 3 times, it is going to print Think Aloud Academy 3 times. Now, just as in other programming languages like C or C++ or Java, the initialization part can be taken out, and I can remove this part here. And when I run this program, it's going to print it again. I can do one more trick here. I can move the increment part to the end of the for loop and just keep the for loop as shown here. So when I do like this, it still executes the program and prints Think Aloud Academy thrice. Now, if you look at this very carefully, what you see is the initialization step has been removed. The increment step has moved inside the for loop. it allows me to remove these semicolon as well. So when I run like this, it still prints it. And if you see this particular statement, you will see that it resembles while loop. So basically, Go programming language does not have while loop. So if you need to have a while loop, you need to have a for loop with just the condition. The increment, the initialization can happen somewhere here, and an increment can happen within the body of the for loop. So this is the way to define a while loop in Go programming language. Now, just as in C++, to write a infinite loop, we would do something like this. Even in Go programming language, if I don't specify the initial condition, the checking operation and the increment operation, this acts like an infinite for loop or infinite loop. So when I execute this should keep on printing infinitely. But since the server doesn't allow me to do it right now, so if I try to run this program, it gives me an error. So basically you have to take it from me that if I have two semicolons, it's as good as executing an infinite loop. And they give one more nifty feature, that is I can remove these two semicolon as well, and I can just write for opening bracket, do some operation. This is an infinite for loop. So again, I would get an error here. So basically this is the for loop which executes infinite amount of time. So we saw a basic way of writing a for loop, which is without the opening bracket, I can write the value as so this is the basic simple way of writing a for loop. And I can move the initialization operation outside the for loop and increment here, and then just by having the conditional checking operation, it turns into a while loop. And if I remove this check as well, it turns into an infinite loop. So these are the different ways of looping constructs. And by the way, there is no mechanism for do while loop. So if you want to have a do while loop, then I guess you have to do something like a for, you will have a condition, and you have to check a condition here. If I is equal to some value x, then I'll have to break from here. So there is no do while loop here. You will have to do some workaround if you really need a do while loop. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you like this video.